Hangout with Heather is proudly brought to you by Sorbet 4 Ways More and Big Blue Clothing, South Africa. Hello and welcome back to Hangout with Heather, with me, Heather Hook, here with you on Niche Radio. It is my pleasure to be back with you guys again, and I know I say this every week, but I really do mean it. I really love what I do, and I love going out and seeing new things and trying new restaurants and going to new places and being able to tell other people about it and show them something different. And if you discover a brand new restaurant that you've never heard of before and you absolutely love it, then my job is done. So it is my pleasure to be back with you guys again, and let me kick off by first wishing all my female listeners an absolutely fantastic Women's Day. And I hope that the men in your life are spoiling you rotten. And if they're not, well then just spoil yourself, because that's what I'll be doing. We've got a jam-packed week ahead again, as per usual. Let me not beat around the bush. Let's get into it. So I'm very excited. Supreme Divas is opening at Joburg Theatre this week. The show opens on Thursday, the 11th of August, and it runs until Sunday, the 14th of August. And it is set to delight audiences old and young as it celebrates the powerhouse female singers that have become legends through their music over the past decades. So homage is paid to old school divas, Barbra Streisand, Aretha Franklin, Chaka Khan, and also more recent, absolutely amazing vocal talents of Mariah Carey, Beyonce, Christina Aguilera, Adele, and many, many more. There are 4 powerhouse, insanely talented local vocalists: Tia Herman, Leno Ramasimong, Tracy Lee Oliver, and Elizabeth Kutzer, who are going to be performing the show. And then they're also going to be joined on stage by teenage sensation Mariantha Panis, who is making her professional theatre debut in the show. They're accompanied by a 9-piece band, and it is set to be the ultimate concert experience. So celebrate Women's Month in style by getting yourself down to Joburg Theatre. There's only 4 shows, Thursday 11th of August to Sunday the 14th of August. Tickets range from 150 to 250 Rand, and you can get these by visiting joburgtheatre.com or call their box office on 0861 670 670, or you can also go through web tickets, and group bookings of 10 or more qualify for a discount. Supreme Divas, Joburg Theatre. Yay, very excited. And sticking with a musical theme, because it seems like I'm getting a lot of music and culture this week, I'm very excited to be heading down shortly to Emmarentia Live, which is basically an absolutely amazing music festival that's taking place at Emmarentia Dam. That's today, Tuesday the 9th of August, from 10 until 6. There are going to be some amazing local bands that are playing. I'm actually beyond excited. One of my favorite bands, Good Luck, is going to be there, as well as Bad Peter, who I absolutely adore, and Mikasa, accompanied by Freshly Ground, Gangs of Ballet, Mango Groove. It is an all-star stellar lineup of fantastic local talent. It's going to be an absolute blast. The tickets range from 299 to 349 Rand. Kids tickets are, that's kids 6 to 12. Their tickets are 50 Rand, and kids under the age of 6 are free. And you can get your tickets on newtickets.co.za. So that's Emmarentia Live today, Tuesday, 9th of August, from 10 until 6 at Emmarentia Dam. There's going to be food. There's going to be drinks. It's chilled. The weather's relatively warm. It's going to be fun. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And then I'm extremely excited to have been asked to cover Good Luck's performance at Emmarentia Live today, and I'm actually going to be interviewing them after their show. So please join me again next week to hear a little bit more from Good Luck about their upcoming album, what they've been getting up to, where they're going in the future. It's going to be an absolute blast. Good Luck, and I'm sure you know them. If you listen to any major radio station in South Africa, music radio station in South Africa, I'm sure you would have heard of them. Their music is an irresistible blend of electronica, pop. They've got some subtle influences of jazz, but they have their own completely unique sound. The band is composed of, there's 3 members, Juliet Harding, Matthew O'Connell, and Ben Peters, and they are hip and happening at the moment, and I'm so excited to be spending the day with them and getting to chat to them a little bit later as well about their future. So join me next week to hear a little bit more from Good Luck. We absolutely love them. And then keeping with the theatre theme, because I seem to be getting a lot of culture this week, I'm heading off to go and see, on Friday evening, I'm heading off to go and see what looks like an absolutely hysterically funny, side-splitting comedy show called I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change, which is opening this Wednesday, the 10th of August, and it's running till the 4th of September. It is at the Turin Main Theatre in Monte Cassino. And it is actually the second longest running off-Broadway musical of all time. It promises to be absolutely fun. I mean, I've been reading the press releases and stuff, and it looks like it's really funny. But it pays tribute to those of us who have loved and lost, like me, who've fallen on their face at the portal of romance. Yep, once again, me. And to those who've dared to ask their crush, what are you doing on Saturday night? Once again, me. They're accompanied by a live band. There's a 4-piece cast who actually play 52 different characters during the show, including 52 wardrobe and wig changes. And there's going to be smash hit songs. It looks like it's going to be absolute fun. The cast are Taryn Lee Hudson, Niels Claassen, Claire Taylor, and Brandon Lindsay, all of them having played in massive, massive musicals in and around South Africa, ranging from Dirty Dancing, Fame, Jersey Boys, Phantom of the Opera, and more. So these guys really have some massive theatre backing and experience, and I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing show. So you can visit the Turin website, which is peterturin.com, and just check out the show. As I said, it's running Wednesday, the 10th of August through to the 4th of September at the Turin Main Theatre at Monte Cassino, and tickets range from 100 to 250 Rand. So that looks like it's going to be quite fun. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And then on Thursday evening, that's the 11th, goodness, all these dates and these public holidays, it's getting very confusing. On Thursday the 11th, I'm heading through to support a very good friend of mine, Derek Hyde, who has just opened his brand new store, Doug & Co. in the Bedford Centre. Now, Doug & Co. have actually been running for about 27 years, but they've relaunched and revamped their brand. And on Thursday evening is the opening of their brand new store between 6:30 and about 8:30. So if you're in the area or you stay in Bedford View and you want to pop through and check them out, head through to the Bedford Centre. They're at store G23. And basically they do personalized men's clothing from drapes. They have drapes and threads from around the world. So everything from suits, shoes, ties, belts to hats, leisure wear, everything like that for a man who likes a little bit of class and style. And you may ask why I'm covering this, but hey, I like a man with a little bit of class and style. So there you go. If you want to get hold of them or find out more, you can give the store a call on 011 615 4482, or you can get hold of Derek. That's Derek.Hyde, DERICK.HYDE @gmail.com. The store is called Doug & Co. and they are open every single day of the week from 9 a.m., including public holidays. You'll just need to check the times. They vary 6 o'clock during the week and 5 o'clock on Saturdays and 3 o'clock on Sundays. But go in there, get a nice suit, get fitted, and give yourself a little bit of style and flair. Why not? Or maybe for one of the gents in your life who needs a new suit. So head through to Doug & Co. That's going to be fun. And then I also caught up with a very interesting gentleman called Duncan Armstrong this week. Duncan is was the owner of an amazing company called Jennifer Montaigne, and they manufacture gin. Now, everyone who knows me knows that I like wine, but I was completely blown away by this craft gin. Jennifer Montaigne, it combines traditional gin distillation methods with infusions of Cape Fynbos. It is a unique flavor, and I absolutely completely fell in love with gin. I think I might be a convert, but I'm going to let Duncan tell you a little bit more about Jennifer Montaigne and what they do.
Jennifer Montaigne, we are a new craft gin based in Cape Town. It's distilled in Woodstock. The origins of Jennifer Montaigne is Jennifer is the Dutch word for juniper, and they were the first to brew the juniper-derived drink back in the early 1500s. Montaigne is the high-altitude fynbos that thrives on the mountains in the Western Cape and the Northern Cape. So it's an amalgamation of old meets new, but also it means gin from the mountain. Okay. We use a variety of indigenous botanicals such as rose geranium, honeybush, Cape May, which is a type of buchu, lemon, grapefruit, and grains of paradise, which is a West African spice, and also anise seeds and coriander.
Okay, and it is absolutely delicious and very easy drinking with anything. Tonic, with what can you have it with?
Neat on the rocks is also viable, as it's very smooth, but tonic is lovely. If you add the tonic, the honeybush comes forward, and with lovely, sweet, refreshing flavour. You can have it in cocktails because it's floral enough to stand by itself in any cocktail. So you can actually taste the gin in say, a martini or margarita or as we had a bramble. So my serving suggestion is equal parts gin to equal parts tonic, a few blocks of ice with no garnish. If you are a purist, that is. But if you would like a more easy drinking summertime gin and tonic, 1 part gin to 3 parts tonic with a zest of a lemon, and that'll go down very well.
Very refreshing, I can tell you. Duncan, where can we find Jennifer and Joburg?
We all over in Joburg and Pretoria. We had all the Spa Topses, Liquor Cities, Norman Goodfellows, all the main ones, I should say. So we had Liquor City, Jan Smuts, Broad Acres, Castle Walk, Groenkloof. We had Norman Goodfellows, Alovo, Maro's Arch. Spa Topses, we at Hobart, Bedford View and Parkmore Square. We also had a few independents such as Riverside Liquors, Local Lick Blegari, Local Lick Crowthorne. So we have a wide, accessible. We have a wide footprint, but if it's not stocked at your local liquor store, by all means get them to make contact with us, and we'll get a few bottles there.
New favorite drink? Yes, please. You can also check out their website, jennifermontaigne.co.za, for more info. Your new favorite summer drink has just arrived. You heard it here on Niche Radio, and you can thank me later. Then I also popped into the Brow Bar to visit my good friend Uneja, who's actually known as the Brow Queen. And I'm not even going to bother to explain. I'm going to let you listen to the clip that I took as she measured my brows and gave me some hints and tips on how I can correct my brows to change the shape of my face, the look of my face, and give me a more youthful appearance. What's not to love, right?
Okay, so basically the Brow Bar is the first of its kind in South Africa. It's a no-appointment concept store dedicated to eyebrows only. Eyebrow treatments, whether it is to take off brows or add on brows, whether you've got no lashes or you want eyelashes, we also work with lash extensions. So the Brow Bar's uniqueness and what makes us completely different to any other brow business in the industries that we work with a no appointment policy.
Okay.
Because we're based in a mall, we create the convenience for those that don't have time to honor a brow appointment. Because how often do you forget
all the
you've
time.
got a brow appointment? Okay, the other unique part about the Brow Bar is the fact that we just don't go and take off brows and, we look at a brow from a holistic point of view. We look at where your brow should start, where it should arch, where it should end. I mean, you've been for brow treatments in the past. Mm-hmm. Has anyone ever measured your brows?
No, and it's a very interesting little tool. It looks like a calipers.
It's almost like a caliper, and it's made specifically to measure from the tip of your nose exactly where your brows should start. So most people just go with what they can see, but there is some science behind the brow and on the face. That's the first thing that you see, and if there is a flaw to the brow, automatically the eye is distracted by the brow. So most people don't know what's the purpose of their brows. Do you know?
No.
Okay, so the purpose of your brow is to prevent oil and sweat from falling into your eye. So most people that shave off their eyebrows, they don't have that protection against the oil and sweat from falling
Why
into
would
the
you
eye.
shave off your eyebrows?
It's quite common. It used to be a trend in the 1940s where they would shave off their brows and
draw
them on. But in the 1920s, they drew them very sad. So, brows have evolved over the years. Currently, brows are the natural looking brow, the fuller, thicker, more bushier brow, the better the brow looks. Okay. So if I look at your brow, I can see that, let me hand you a mirror. You can clearly see that your brows start in the,
oh, wow.
This one is slightly shorter.
My one's like running off at a tangent there.
So the rule of thumb is that your brows are a thumb's distance apart.
Okay.
That's your arch, and there's a purpose for your arch as well. So the arch actually works like an umbrella. So as the oil and sweat falls onto the brow, it glides it to the side.
Okay.
So that's where your arch should be.
Okay.
The moment you bring your arch too closer to the inner corner of your eye, your brow would look shorter.
Okay, so if your brow is arching closer to your nose than the other side, you actually
shortening your brow.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And also it's going to make you look angry. So if you want to create an illusion.
I always look angry. I get a lot of that. Apparently I have resting witch face.
Really?
Yes,
I don't
apparently.
think so.
Oh, thank you.
So you can see this is where your brow should end, and the tool clearly, just like you can clearly see where it should end. It's from the tip of your nose, going at an angle to the outer corner of your eye, and that's where your brow should end. So you can see clearly that your right brow is
It's a lot shorter, yeah.
So we generally note that when you sleep on the one side more often than the other, that side, those hairs will be traumatized from, sleeping on them. Those hairs break off.
Oh, my word.
Okay, so when I look at your brow, I see that there is room for improvement. And if I needed to change your eyebrows, it would take me 4 months.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so a growth cycle of a hair takes 4 months from the time that it falls to the complete cycle before it falls off again, because you shape your brow all the time. So 4 months to correct this brow.
Okay.
What I would suggest in your case, at the brow bar, we have lots of options. Option 1 is the growth serum. So it is a product that you apply every night before you go to bed.
Yeah.
It stimulates follicles or hairs.
So to help the hair grow.
Yes, it stimulates the hairs. So it has vitamins, nutrients, proteins that feed the follicle and increases blood circulation, and that's how new hairs are then formed, which will take 4 months to correct this side.
Okay.
Then the second option that we have, which is a more instant option for someone that's going for a wedding or an event, we have brow extensions that we can apply, little tiny hairs to fill up this little gap.
How do you stick them on?
So with the glues, we have 2 types of adhesives. The first adhesive is hair that is implanted onto the hair. Okay. And the second one is that is implanted onto the skin. So you can see on your end, we'd need to put it onto the skin.
Yes, it's quite short, eh?
And that will last about 4 days.
Okay.
Then there's another option which is called Lola brows. Lola is very, very new in South Africa. You're probably the first person I'm telling about this.
Oh, wow. Okay. You heard it here, folks.
Lola means long-lasting brows. It's a combination of a glue and powder, and it's a phenomenal product from the UK that we apply with almost like a little wire, but we create hair strokes. Okay. And that is not a tattoo. This is going to last 3 weeks. It's going to stick on your hair and on your skin for 3 weeks. Okay. All right? And then you would come back and remove them, and we would then reapply if necessary. That's the third option.
Would the natural hair be growing at the same time? Absolutely. So you could use that as an interim measure while you're growing it out. Okay.
Then the fourth option, which works strictly by appointment, is the permanent makeup.
And is that the microblading?
That's the microblading. Okay. And currently, everyone is microblading.
Yes,
everyone.
I know.
Okay, it's a craze at the moment.
I know.
But it's scary because I see so many bad brows out there because everyone is doing brows. And it's very easy to thread, and it's very easy to tinge, and it's very easy to do permanent makeup, but you need to understand the brow. So if I look at your face and I see your face, there's something that we need to do that's going to correct your facial features. It's going to make you look softer and not angry or look like a bird, because you see very often people go very high up and you've got a pointy nose and you've got a pointy chin. So we want to create that illusion of a youthful appearance to your face more than an angry appearance.
I can honestly say that this was probably one of the most fascinating interviews I've ever conducted, and it was amazing to watch my face change and take shape in the couple of minutes that she was explaining what was going on. My face completely changed. I was completely blown away. So please do pop in and visit them. As Uneza said, there is no appointment required. So they have stores in Clearwater Mall. They're also in Mall of the South, Lucia Mall in Durban, and they have a store opening in Pretoria in November, and Cape Town stores are scheduled to open next year. Visit the website, thebrowbar.co.za, and just watch the shape of your face completely change and your appearance completely change just in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's absolutely fascinating. So that's the Brow Bar. Guys, sadly, my time is up. These shows always go so quickly, and I have so much more to tell you, but I'm going to have to save it till next week. Please be in contact with me. I am on social media, Heather L. Hook on Twitter, Heather Louise Hook on Instagram. I'm on Facebook as well. Please also pop through to my website, which is heatherhook.com, and all the people that I've spoken about today, Brow Bar, Jennifer Montaigne, all the theatre shows, everything is available on my website, heatherhook.com. And like I always say, if you have an event coming up, or there's something that you think that I should be at or I should be covering, please drop me an email, heather@heatherhook.com. I will catch you guys again next week. Have a beautiful week ahead. Lots of love. Bye.